Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Kenny in the Heights, and you know it's a Margarita Thursdays. If you better be thirsty. What's up, my people? How's everybody doing? Are you wearing your mask? Are you washing your hands? Are you keeping your distance? I hope so. Let's continue the same regimen, guys, so we can knock this out the box. Anyway, I'm at the famous Mama Sushi here in Washington Heights. And I am having a Jack Daniel's margarita. They're coming up with all these different types of margaritas. It used to be just a plain margarita. Now it's a Jack Daniel's, it's a bullet, it's all different types. So cheers, everyone. I would also like to cheers to John Lewis. Today was his funeral in Atlanta. And God bless him and his family. He was an extraordinary man. So cheers to John Lewis. God bless you, man. You will be missed. Very good. A little sweet for me, but very, very good. Try it. Mama Sushi. 147th and Broadway. All right. So we also lost a great, great man, Regis Philbin. He died. And he was like the pioneer of television hosts. He did Regis and Kathy Lee. Then Kathy Lee left, and then it was Regis and Kelly. Then he left the show completely. And then he did also America's Got Talent, and he also did Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And I used to watch him when he was doing Regis and Kelly and Regis and Kathy. I used to watch him because he was funny and witty and really quick and just like an everyday guy, like a guy next door. Like he got along with everybody. Everybody could relate to him. I really enjoyed him, and I used to watch him and study some of his work. So God bless you, Regis. God bless his family, his wife. You're definitely remiss when you left television. You're definitely remiss now. That's all I can say about that. All right. So also, I want to discuss Ellen DeGeneres. If you haven't heard, I'm going to tell you. That's why I'm here to give you the info. Well, I don't know if you guys know, but it's been going on for a couple of months that the staff of the Ellen DeGeneres show have been complaining that it's very toxic to work there. Not only has the staff been complaining, but some of the guests has been complaining too as well, saying that she's very rude and she's nasty. Once those cameras are on, she's a whole different person. When the cameras are not on, she's very, very toxic to everyone. Employees are walking around on pins and needles. They don't know how to address her. They don't address her. They don't know what to say to her. That's been going on. So they've started an investigation of that now. Well, prior to that, Ellen's home got burglarized. And they won't disclose how much stuff had been stolen, but what they did disclose was that she had lost a great amount of jewelry and watches and rings and earrings and all those things, with a great substantial amount of money. Well, once this happened, nobody came to her rescue as far as giving her any type of sympathy about the situation, because they feel like it was all a hoax, that she planted this story, she made this up just so people could stop concentrating on the fact that her company, the show, is very toxic. So they were trying to give you something else to pay attention to. Well, that didn't work for fans and everybody else, because they were like, oh, okay, she got robbed, who cares? By the way, it's still a toxic environment. However, the police are still investigating it. Excuse me. The police are still investigating it. And not look good for Ellen. It looks like if all these claims are true, that they're gonna pull that show, and I hope not. I really enjoy her show. I've never met her. I was looking forward to meeting her, being on her show, but I hope this is not true, especially at this time where they're pulling shows and pulling people, taking people off of shows because of things that they're finding out. So I hope this is not true at all. But if it is, I'm very sorry to hear it. Which also brings me to one of my points. If anybody who ever watches her show, I've watched it several times, but at the end of each episode of her show, she says, be kind to one another. That's her thing that she says. So Ellen, what's up? What's up? Good luck with that, Ellen, and I hope it's not true so I can be a guest on your show very soon. Now, something I want to share with you guys, and I want you guys to leave a comment pertaining to this particular subject that I'm about to talk about. Okay, so I happen to watch a show on TLC. I watch TLC all the time. They have great shows. But I happen to watch one of the shows, and the show that I watched called My Pregnant Husband. Okay, yes. The title is very catchy and makes you think like, what? But as I thought, the husbands are trans, from women to men, but they are pregnant. Okay, so I watched it, and there was a couple. They had like maybe 2 to 3 couples. One of the couples was saying, we're not going to raise our child with a gender. We're going to allow our child just to be a person, but with no gender. Another couple was having a girl, and said, which was 2 trans couples, woman to man and man to woman. The man to woman said, we're having a daughter. I'm going to dress her in pigtails and bows and pink. And the woman to man said, I'm sorry. Yes, the woman to man said, no, I want to dress my child in baggy pants and high tops and sweaties and hoodies. Now, my opinion about that is that I feel that, first of all, it's one thing if your child comes to you and says, I don't feel this way, I feel more that way, then that's a different situation. But when you automatically introduce your child to a certain lifestyle and said, this is what your normal is, I think it's very confusing for the child. One, I feel like you don't allow the child to authentically make its own decisions, whether or not him or her feel this way or that way. I feel like you're making a decision for them, whether or not they agree to it or not. Now, what you do as an adult, that's your business. But as a child, I don't think that you should allow the child to be a child and let the child authentically feel that whether him or her feel one way or the other. I think when you make a decision for a child saying this is what life is, I think it makes it very confusing for the child. Plus, you're not taking in consideration that when him or her go to school, they're around other people, how are they able to adapt to other people when you've made this decision for them. I don't have any children. Those are not my kids. I respect people for how they choose to raise their own kids. However, you have to also take into consideration that you're an adult and they're children, and that you've lived your life. and that you lived your life according to how you want to live your life, and that you're not with that child 24/7 when that child is out in the world and has to figure out what he or she wants to be or how he or she wants to express themselves, because you have already made that decision for them, and then they have to try to live with that decision when in fact they might not be feeling that within themselves. You know, you also have to realize that what you do when you have children, what you do to those children, as far as what you teach them and how what goes on in your household, that impacts that child for the rest of their life when they grow up, and that also sets a precedent for them to make decisions for themselves. You know, when I used to dance at a young age, there was a guy who was a construction worker, big Italian construction worker, and he was the only boy, and he had 4 sisters, and his father used to beat him but never beat his sisters. So his sisters used to, for fun, dress him up in girls' clothing because he was the youngest. And his father, when he was dressed up as a little girl, playing with his sisters, his father would never beat him. But when he was dressed up as a boy, his father would beat him. So as an adult, he used to come to dance class, and as an adult, he would come in from work, construction clothes or whatever, he'd go in the bathroom and change, and he would put on women's clothing. And he wasn't a gay man, he ended up being married and having children. But he would put on women's clothing because he said when he was dressed as a girl, his father wouldn't beat him, but when he was dressed as a guy, his father would beat him. So I say all that to say, you know, be careful about the decisions that you make for these children because it impacts their life. So guys, just go ahead and when you watch this, comment and tell me what you think. All right, guys, this is Kenny in the Heights, Mama Sushi, my Jack Daniels Margarita. Make sure you're still doing your social distancing. Make sure you're wearing your gloves, your mask, your hand sanitizer. Make sure you are kind to one another. Not just to say it, but to really be kind to one another. All right, guys, God bless you. See you next Thursday.